Now, Caitlyn can argue for more money, but you can't. Y'all been in the league all this time, and the revenue generation has come because Caitlin Clark primarily.
You see, this is exactly why a huge part of me feels like Caitlin Clark shouldn't even help these chicks get paid, bro. There's a part of me that don't even feel like she should help them get paid because of stuff like this.
Caitlin Clark didn't yell. She didn't rant. She didn't even name names. But with just 6 words posted in a single Instagram comment, she humiliated Kelsey Plum in front of the entire sports world.
I just think it just wasn't a smart thing for Kelsey Plum to have said. I fully believe she's just joking. I don't think there's any malice in this. Not only do I not think, I'm almost certain there's no malice in this. I think it's just a really bad joke. Well, not even a really bad joke, a joke that comes off the wrong way.
What were those 6 words? And how did one sentence flip the WNBA drama completely on its head? Let's break it down.
Well, WNBA All-Star Weekend has officially wrapped up, and nobody is talking about anything basketball related. Nobody's talking about the 3-point contest, Sabrina Ionescu putting on a show. When Sabrina went head-to-head against Steph Curry, that was a segment for about, 4 or 5 days? Nothing come this Monday. Skills challenge, nothing. A New York Liberty sweep, nothing. Team Collier defeating Team Clark, setting all-star game, absolutely nothing. The only thing that's getting mentioned, surprise, surprise, is the drama surrounding the WNBA. Not the basketball, that's reserved for Caitlin Clark, I suppose, but the drama around the WNBA.
It started at the WNBA All-Star Game, a moment meant to unify players around a powerful message: equal pay.
So, I am all for people asking for raises. So let me start with that. I don't have a problem with the WNBA players asking for a raise. The WNBA is on a hot streak. I don't care about the previous 24, 25 years. As an investment, it's starting to pay off. And so this week they wore t-shirts saying, making a statement, you better pay us. But instead of just leaving it at that, Kelsey Plum for LA had to take a dig at Caitlin Clark.
Players wore shirts reading "Pay us what you owe us," and the spotlight was supposed to shine on solidarity. But Kelsey Plum had other ideas. In a post-game press conference, she took a thinly veiled shot without even saying Clark's name. She smirked, paused, then dropped, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present.
Well, it was a very powerful moment. We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front, was determined this morning that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
That's all it took. A subtle jab, a public dig, a calculated attempt to paint Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation everyone was watching, as selfish, disconnected, and disloyal. But what Plum didn't realize is that the moment she took that shot, the clock started ticking on her own public embarrassment.
These WNBA players, they get more unlikable every day. And the blatant jealousy, the blatant hatred towards Caitlin Clark is, it's obvious. They don't even try to hide it. We got Kelsey Plum talking about these pathetic shirts that they wore out onto the court. And I'm going to tell you, these players all put these shirts on. And like I said in a couple of previous videos, that backfired.
What Kelsey Plum may have underestimated was just how many people were already watching Caitlin Clark. The truth: Clark wasn't at the meeting because she wasn't even playing. She had been ruled out of the All-Star game and stayed in her hometown, Indianapolis, to recover.
At this stage, who cares? They bring her up every chance they get. The team name was Team Clark. None of them showed up. None of them showed up in the meeting. Why did none of them show up in the meeting? Because Nneka Nwumeke was just running around calling at 10 a.m. calling into people's rooms, being like, "We have a meeting now. We have a meeting now." Like, she had a secret. They had a spur of the moment meeting that nobody knew about at 10 a.m. Like, it's not something that mattered. The players still, the gist of the meeting was that the players were going to wear those t-shirts. The players on Team Clark wore the t-shirts, Caitlin included. Like, what difference does it make?
So Plum's dig didn't expose Clark. It exposed her own pettiness. Sabrina Ionescu, sitting next to Plum during the press conference, instantly stiffened.
But no, we were just, we had a very...
that really needed to be mentioned.
I'm trying to make a situation light, okay? But yeah, no, I think it was just all of us getting on the same page for the game.
Her body language was all fans needed to know. This wasn't a united front. It was a targeted attack.
You see her face, when you see Sabrina's face when she first said that, Sabrina looked pissed off and annoyed. Like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Like, come on, man. Look at this post. Taking a shot like this at the player that's the only reason you're in a position to ask for more money is crazy. And that's a fact. That's just a fact. Look at Sabrina's face, bro. She like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing, chick? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Even longtime NBA voices like Stacey King and Charles Barkley spoke up. Why are you throwing shade at the one player who's making everyone more money?
Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world. Oh, you are. Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA. Well, they're gonna hate.
Fans agreed, and the internet lit up. Caitlin didn't defend herself in interviews. She didn't subtweet. She did something much more powerful. A few days later, both she and Kelsey Plum attended a Nike event. The twist: Caitlin is a Nike athlete. Kelsey signed with Under Armour. So when Plum posted a happy Instagram photo from the Nike event, Clark replied with 6 icy words. Thank you for the Nike ad.
Now, I am here to tell you, bro. Now, to me, I thought that was a little dig at Caitlin. A lot of people definitely thought so. Now, we know Caitlin Clark is a Nike athlete. She's with Nike. And guess who had to pull up to the Nike party? None other than Sabrina Ionescu. I mean, none other than Kelsey Plum. My bad, y'all. None other than Kelsey Plum, bruh. Caitlin Clark commented on her picture. Thank you for the Nike ad. What a weekend. CCAKG said Caitlin Clark on Kelsey Plum's Instagram. Kelsey is an Under Armour athlete.
That's it. No aggression, no explanation, just a calm, brutal mic drop. Fans exploded. The comment instantly went viral, drawing thousands of likes and replies. Everyone knew what she meant. While you were trying to tear me down, you ended up promoting me. That's the moment Kelsey Plum got publicly humiliated by a single sentence.
5,000 likes. And it's crazy, man, because like I stated, the people on Twitter, man, somebody talking about 63 likes. Nah, player. Nah, player. More like 5,000 likes, 72 replies, bro. Yes. Yes, bro. And I'm pretty sure Kelsey Plum did reply to this. Oh, no, she didn't. Kelsey Plum did not reply. So CC definitely fired back, man. So
Kelsey Plum didn't respond. What could she say? She had tried to turn the all-star stage into a hit job, but Caitlin Clark, through pure silence and grace, turned the tables and owned the entire weekend without even playing. Brands swarmed Clark. Media headlines shifted to her power move. Meanwhile, Plum was dragged across social media as bitter, jealous, and petty. And the deeper truth started emerging. This wasn't just one petty moment. It was a symptom of a larger problem.
But why do you take a shot at the Golden Goose, Caitlin Clark? You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. One of those airlines that is the planes are the color of a highlighter. Now you're flying private. Keep your issues to yourself. All right? You went from a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town to a 4 Seasons in the shopping district. Stop talking.
Some WNBA veterans are uncomfortable with Caitlin Clark's rapid rise. She gets the sponsors, the airtime, the fans, the jersey sales, and yes, the attention. But unlike others, she's earned it.
All right. What does that mean? Caitlin Clark has created the league. Caitlin can argue for more money, but you can't. Y'all been in the league all this time, and the revenue generation has come because Caitlin Clark primarily. That you can't make more. You can't make more money if you're not producing product. And then if you made money this year, ma'am, you've been losing. You owe the NBA back. Y'all can just lose and not pay anything back to the NBA. Like, to be honest, the first 10 years of y'all profitability need to go back to the NBA. You don't just get to say, I've been wasting y'all money for 20 years and now I'm finally made a profitable year because of one player. And, she get hurt. Ain't nobody watching it no more.
She brought in record-breaking viewership, boosted expansion fees from $50 million to $250 million, sold out arenas, and still shows up and performs under brutal pressure. So when Plum took that shot, she wasn't just mocking a teammate, she was mocking the very future of the league. And now, that future is bigger than her. Clark's 6-word response didn't just humiliate Plum, it exposed the jealousy, the politics, and the cracks forming beneath the WNBA's image of unity. And that's how Caitlin Clark humiliated Kelsey Plum without ever raising her voice. Just 6 words, 1 reply, and a permanent shift in power. If you're still watching, drop silent power in the comments to show you stand.
During All-Star Weekend, Caitlin Clark joins Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe for a live episode of A Touch More. And let's just say that Caitlin Clark does not hold back on dishing the tea.
I hope the rest of the WNBA was listening. Judging by the platform of this interview, I know for a fact that dump divers in the WNBA were listening. I also know for a fact that normal people were not listening because normal people don't give a damn.
Caitlin Clark just shocked the world, and she didn't even need a basketball to do it. In her boldest moment yet, Clark went live with Sue Bird at WNBA All-Star Weekend and didn't hold back.
Whisper, whisper, whisper. Ooh. Why did everybody say it like that?
What were you actually saying? Don't lie to us.
From slamming false media stories, to owning her viral meme moment, to tossing spicy shade at her own coach, this was raw, unfiltered Clark, and it changed everything. But what exactly did she say that left the room stunned, fired shots at her critics, and flipped the entire media narrative on its head? Let's break it down.
She does appear on a live taping of A Touch More podcast, which is Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe's podcast. I actually touched on this a few videos back. They introduced her with the music that the old Bulls would walk out to, like super dramatic fashion, and sarcastically brought her out as every ref's favorite. So that kind of set the tone for the rest of the podcast, and the whole thing gave us like a big inside scoop as to some of the more viral moments that Clark has been involved in and what was going on in her head.
Because when Caitlin Clark speaks from the heart, the world listens. First, let's set the stage. Sue Bird's live podcast, A Touch More, was packed. Fans were buzzing. Caitlin Clark, fresh off being snubbed from playing in the All-Star game, stepped into the spotlight as Indiana's hometown hero.
Hailing from just a few states over, she loves a good Cheez-It and will wash it down with some swig. She loves Scrabble, outdoor concerts at the Ruoff, and golfing at Crooked Stick. She's every ref's favorite, and she dresses like a CEO because she's a boss. Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark. Let's go.
And from the moment she grabbed the mic, you could feel it. This wasn't a safe PR moment. This was Caitlyn unleashed. She wasn't here to play nice. She was here to set the record straight. And that's exactly what she did.
I hope WNBA players were listening. For the first time, possibly ever, I hope they had their ears open and their yappers shut. Because the Roo from Waterloo dropped some wisdom yesterday and WNBA players need to hear it.
Let's start with the shot heard around the WNBA. Caitlin Clark took direct aim at one of the most ridiculous rumors making headlines, that she turned down the NBA three-point contest because she didn't want to shoot off a rack. Her response, lethal, sarcastic, legendary. I don't know who wrote the article, but I'm sure they didn't feel great about themselves after I did that.
So recently, there was like that rumor, lie, whatever you want to call it, which was so dumb that you declined because you didn't want to shoot off a rack.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Where do these people come up with this is beyond. But I'm actually curious. You finally, it doesn't always happen. Honestly, even we have a podcast, mics on our face. You don't always get the opportunity to be like, no, that was a lie.
Yeah.
And just kind of like
And
call it out
yeah.
and like fact check them.
Yeah.
That had to have felt good.
It did feel good. I don't know who wrote the article, but I'm sure they didn't feel great about themselves after I did that. So I don't know who their source was, but whoever their source was wrong. But
They didn't have one.
I guess
They didn't have a source.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I would prefer to catch and shoot off of a pass, but any basketball player would say that. But it's a three-point competition. Everybody shoots off a rack. That's just how it goes.
She flat out called it a lie, said the media just made it up, and she fact-checked it live with a smile on her face and zero hesitation. That moment made one thing clear. Caitlin Clark isn't here for the fake narratives. She's done playing along with the media circus and fans.
What's even worse is when people base their opinions of themselves off comments from strangers on social media. Social media is not real. People will say things on Twitter that they would never say to your face.
Loved every second of it, but that wasn't even the spiciest part. When Sue Bird brought up Clark's now iconic performance against the New York Liberty, you know, the one where she lit it up from deep, Caitlin didn't hold back. She casually explained how she gets into a rhythm. If I hit 2 in a row, I'm probably going to launch a third. Maybe not advised by the coach, but I gotta get it up.
The New York Liberty game recently, the 3-3s, like heaters. So that's actually, I think the Liberty game is a better example. Can you just tell us? And the answer, I've gotten this question, not quite in the same way, where it's like, what's it like in the zone? But when you're like feeling this heater approaching, like do you know? Like what's happening? For those that'll never experience it, can you tell us?
Well,
what is this like?
First thing I would say, in college, every game I thought I was on a heater. I would say more so professionally, like that Liberty game. I feel like as a shooter, like when you see like 2 or 3 go in, especially like for me, like if I have 2 back-to-back in a row, like I'm probably gonna launch a third that maybe isn't advised by Steph, but like I gotta get it up. And then if the third goes in, like you're just hot. I think as a shooter, like your confidence just builds and builds and builds. It's just coming off your hand better. The rim looks big.
Not advised by the coach. That was a subtle, cheeky jab at Stephanie White, her own head coach. And the crowd erupted. Clark didn't say it with malice. She said it with confidence, control, swagger. That's how you throw shade and keep the room on your side. And whether she meant it as a joke or not, it exposed the growing tension between player and coach. A story that's been bubbling beneath the surface all season.
This Caitlin Clark versus Stephanie White thing could turn ugly, and it could turn ugly fast, y'all. I have to be straight up with y'all. Stephanie White wants to play the polar opposite way that Caitlin Clark wants to play.
Now here's where Clark flips the script completely. You think you know Caitlin Clark? Think again. She opened up about being misunderstood, how the world sees her fire on the court, but misses the goofy, joking side off it. People don't realize I'm just comedic relief in the locker room. She's fiery on the floor, but off it, she's cracking jokes in the group chat, laughing about memes, and keeping it light. And yes, she addressed the viral face-off moment with Atlanta's Ryan Howard, the freeze frame that turned into a full-blown meme.
This is Goofy that you're talking about. Goofy Caitlin.
I feel like every game there's always like a new meme of me doing something.
This one is top notch. I don't even know what happened.
I mean,
I do.
What game is this?
I have no idea.
Atlanta. Ryan Howard was trying to rough you up.
Oh, I was like, I don't care. I don't care.
You're like, I'm not scared of you.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
I'm not scared of you.
Who are you?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
did say that.
Oh, it was so good. I
thought I
was
thought
watching
I was
this game
tough.
live.
I thought I was tough, and then this is what I look like.
Honestly, the freeze frame doesn't do you justice.
Like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
I didn't actually look like that, right?
No, you were not that goofy in real time.
This is so good.
In real time, you were like, let's fucking go. Like, I'm right here. My whole face is right here.
My hair's all messed up. I just got hit.
Yeah, you hadn't fixed the pony
No,
yet.
I hadn't.
Clark laughed it off like a pro. I'm not scared of you. Who are you? It wasn't just self-aware, it was hilarious. She even roasted her own hair, saying her ponytail was all messed up. That's the kind of personality the WNBA desperately needs more of. But this interview wasn't just jokes and jabs. Clark went deep. She talked about how social media creates a false version of her and how she stays grounded by focusing on the little kids in the stands, the real fans, not the ones hiding behind Twitter accounts. When you show up to arenas, that's when you remember how many people really support you.
Well, I think first, you have to remember, like, social media is just like such a false perception of reality. And even for myself, like, you don't always realize that at times. Like, it's not the real world. And, when you're in a position of, people are going to love you, people aren't going to like you. But I think when I show up to arenas, those are the moments that, like, really remind me of, like, how many people are really there supporting you and loving you. Like, the little boys and the little girls, those are the people that are on social media, like, caring about every decision you make or every comment you make. But also at the same time, I feel like I just try to show up every single day and be myself and approach it that way and just be authentically me.
That honesty, that vulnerability, that's what makes Caitlin different. She's not a brand, she's a human being. And she's not afraid to show it. Let's talk about that Taylor Swift moment. If you remember the viral clip of Clark whispering into Taylor's ear at a Chiefs playoff game, the internet exploded with theories. Well, Clark cleared it up. She was just explaining a penalty flag. Honestly, I was just telling her why they threw a flag. Simple, sweet, totally normal, and that's what made it so good.
Honestly, like, I love football and I know a lot about football, so I was like telling her, like, why they threw a flag or, like, but in the best way. Like,
She doesn't know a lot about
I don't
football.
even know everything, like, so I was just explaining things. But yeah, that was really fun. I'm a big Chiefs fan, so.
Because for Caitlin Clark, even the most ordinary moments become headline news. She's the rare athlete who straddles sports and pop culture with ease, and she handles it with total grace. From playing in front of sold-out arenas to being sculpted out of butter at the Iowa State Fair, Clark is embracing every strange, funny, and surreal part of her rise. She even gushed about her white Nike cleats from high school soccer like they were Jordan ones.
Well, that was our rival high school, so we played at State. Got the Nike cleats. I thought my cleats were so sick. They were all white.
They are, yeah. For sure.
I loved soccer cleats. It's the same with basketball shoes.
That's who she is. Confident on the court, unfiltered on the mic, and unapologetically Iowa to the core. But let's be clear, this wasn't just an entertaining sit-down. This was a statement. Clark isn't just showing up to interviews anymore. She's owning the room, calling out false narratives, challenging authority, laughing at the noise. She's not just the face of women's basketball. She's becoming its most powerful voice. This interview proved it. She's not here to be managed, molded, or muffled. She's Caitlin Clark, and she's just getting started. If you're still watching, drop Clark Unfiltered in the comments to show you ride for Caitlin's honesty. What was your favorite moment from this interview? Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and click the next video on screen because you won't want to miss what Clark does next.